There are fruitful results even if help is slight. One who gave a single sour fruit to the king was regarded as equal to the king's son. Truly great masters refrain from acting in their own interests and act primarily for the sake of others. When one assists and respects them, even in small ways, numerous special consequences will later arise, including the eventual result of great enlightenment. This is illustrated by the exceptional circumstances that resulted when a young man gave a single myrobalan fruit to a majestic person and became equal in stature to the son of a Dharma king. Once upon a time, a father lay dying, and he gave this advice to his son. My last will is that whomever you rely upon and befriend should not have an evil nature or little wisdom. Associate with the opposite of such people. The young man decided to test whether his father's advice was true or false. Accordingly, he put his trust in an evil king, sought an evil spouse as his companion, and settled down with her. One day, the young man and the king went to the forest. Unexpectedly, the king encountered a man-eating tiger and was about to be killed when the lad charged the tiger, stabbed it in the neck, and saved both of their lives. The king, much impressed, said appreciatively, "Today you were very kind and saved my life." They returned happily to the palace. Later, the young man stole the dancing peacock that entertained the king and secretly left it with his friend for safekeeping. Then he caught another peacock in the forest and took it to his house. He said to his wife, "I saved the king's life just as a tiger was about to kill him. But since I have received no gratitude from the king for that act, I shall kill his peacock and eat it." Then both he and his wife dined on peacock meat. The king, wanting to recover his lost peacock, sent a messenger to announce a royal pledge that whoever found the bird would be granted whatever they desired. Greedy for this reward, the young man's own wife went and informed the king. "Why did he kill the peacock when I was pleased with him?" asked the king. The woman related what her husband had told her. "Summon him here," the king ordered. The young man appeared before the king. "Is it true that you killed my peacock? If so, why?" asked the king. The lad related his reason, to which the king responded, "How can I favorably consider requests made by those who should serve the king?" The young man, realizing then the evil nature of both his wife and the king, sent for the dancing peacock and returned it to the king. He separated from his wife and went off alone. In time, he sought out a woman companion of bad character, but found a kind king, and he settled down. One day, he and the king went to a thick forest. It was an extremely hot summer, and the king became exceptionally thirsty. The young man said, "If your majesty is able to eat, I have these 3 small myrobalan fruits for you." The king was overjoyed. "You have saved my life," he declared. They returned happily to the palace. Then one day, the young man led the king's son away and hid him. He entrusted the prince's clothing and ornaments to his girlfriend, instructing her not to say a word to anyone. The king then announced to all that whoever found his son would be rewarded with whatever he or she desired. The lad's evil girlfriend, seizing her opportunity, informed the king. "This cannot be true," exclaimed the king. "It is true," she insisted. "Here are his clothing and ornaments." She showed him the articles. The king believed her then and summoned the young man to the palace. "Is it true that you killed my son?" demanded the king. The lad replied that it was true. "Well then," ordered the king, "today you are to be killed." Has the king forgotten the kindness I showed him?" asked the young man. "What kindness?" snapped the king. The young man reminded the king about the episode in the forest. "What you say is true," said the king, recalling the incident. "Therefore, although I have great regret for my son, for the kindness of the first small myrobalan fruit you gave me, your life will be spared. For the kindness of the second, I give you my daughter in marriage. And for the kindness of the third, I give you half my kingdom. This is my promise." The lad was convinced then that his father's advice was true. This gladdened him, as did his understanding of the king's true nature. "How can I take the king's rewards?" he entreated. "How could I have killed your precious son?" He returned the prince to the king and promised to do whatever the king asked of him. This historical account clarifies the meaning of verse 45, which reads, "Noble and ordinary people may receive help equally, but their gratitude in response is not the same."